Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are here for the CalSpeed Sprint Series Round 2. We had a pretty fantastic round last race where we finished in the A main. We're really hoping to get the A today. We just did the clinic. The track is a little greasy because it rained last night, so it's gripping up as we continue doing more and more sessions on track. We're getting a little bit more rubber laid down. We're feeling okay. Hopefully we can get that A main again. We want to try to get at least 200 points today because I think that'll probably get us a solid top 15, maybe a top 10 in the championship if we can get 200 points every round. So we do get a couple of drops, but I would really like to get 200 points again. We got exactly 200 points last round. With that said, let's go watch that first heat. There you go. He's a reigning champion for the Sprint Series.
Subscriber.
He's a true celebrity.
Dude, I'm a loyal follower.
We got the GGTRL1 YouTube channel represented here. We got Devins Baker out here.
Where are you starting?
8.
Okay.
Yeah, you just got to hold on to it or move forward.
You did definitely make some moves from there, man.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm pretty good at the start, so hopefully I'll be able to
all right, man. Well, good luck, man.
screw him up. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
Here we are on the grid. Like I was just telling Diego Alvarado, we are starting 8th, so it's a pretty great start to our heat for the day. We had a decent qualifying session. We're going to push off, and we are immediately going to move up from 8th to 7th as we overtake one car before we get to the first corner, and then move again up into 6th as we pass Vladimir Orlov on the left there. We're banging wheels with Vince Azua. I want to try to make sure that I can get up ahead of him as well, and that puts us in the excellent position of 5th by the time we get through turn 4 on lap 1. Vladimir Orlov puts it back up on my right side there. Now we have got to try to recover that position. Before we can, though, Carl Zhu puts it up behind Vladimir and tries to follow him through, but he can't make it around our outside through the Grande hairpin. This is a new layout for the channel. We have never raced on this layout before. This is called Grande, so a lot of the corners are going to be similar, but I actually prefer Grande to Nuotivo that we were racing on last week. As you can see, we're pulling back up to Vlad Orlov in the 20 car, and we're right behind him as we exit the carousel here. So the big difference between this layout and the layout we were racing last week is that carousel leads into the horseshoe. So we're coming into the horseshoe a lot faster and lets us come into the horseshoe quite a bit wider as well. So I'm going to look to try to take 5th position back, but Vlad drives right around my outside. He's pretty rapid. He's been a pole sitter before in the Sprint Series, so it's going to be really challenging to try to get around him today. Carl Zhu in the 23 is going to try to drive up around me as well. We make a little bit of contact with Vlad there, but he manages to hold on to it, and we fall back into 7th position behind Carl Zhu in the 23. Now, I'm feeling a little bit heated. I know I'm still ahead of my starting position, but I really want to go up higher. I want to be comfortably in the A main today, and if I can start, in the top 15 or so of the A main, I'd be really thrilled. It would definitely be a best start for me, and the best start as possible. We have a bunch of cars going into this final corner, the Long Beach hairpin, and oh my gosh, Jacob Reese gets turned around and absolutely destroyed. Let's take a look at that again in slow motion without the explosion added for effect. As you can see, we're coming in, we're trying to make the overtake on Carl Zhu, and Jacob gets touched, he gets turned around and stopped at the apex, and oh, huge hit, full cart wheelie. Rip to Jacob there in the comments for the full cart wheelie. That's gotta hurt. But now we are in 3rd. This is unprecedented for a heat race, and I am really looking for the opportunity to try to maybe win it. As you can see, Ronnie Swaim Jr., the last winner of the round 1 A main, is right up ahead of us. I give my little hand signal to the crowd there as if to say, look where I am, guys. All my buddies are on the fence there, and we're going to take a look behind, and we have got a huge gap. So now I have realized if I don't make any big stupid mistakes and we don't start fighting amongst ourselves, it's going to be really difficult for that pack to catch up to us, and I might be able to bring home a safe 3rd, if not something better. So we're just going to try to tuck in behind these guys and figure out where we might be quicker than they are. The Grande hairpin was definitely where I had the most difficulty, and as you can see, Vlad Orlov makes a little bit of contact with Ronnie Swaim Jr. there, and we are right on their tail. It's going to be really important, like I said before, just to try to stay behind until the last 2 or 3 laps, because then we're going to have the opportunity to make a jump. Vlad Orlov goes for it. He decides he's going to drive through and try to overtake Ronnie, and I figure I'll just follow Vlad through. I wasn't really looking to make an overtake. I was just taking the path of least resistance. He tells me to tuck in, which absolutely was my plan, I promise. It was just an easy spot, it looked like. But now we're tucking back in third position, and as you can see, Vlad has got a drive-through penalty. I'm not sure if it was for bump drafting or for that little bit of contact out of Grande, but instead of taking the drive-through, he just decides to park his car on the side of the road and quit the race. So now I'm in second place. We have got a solid gap, and there are 2 laps to go. We're on lap 6, 2.5 laps. And it would be my best heat finish if I finished right here where I am, but it looks like, as you can see, I have a little bit of pace on Ronnie. We're running into the back of him there, and we get a warning for bump drafting here, so you might be able to hear I lift deliberately a few times so that the official can hear me lifting. I definitely don't want to lose this to a penalty, so I want to make it very clear, but I end up dropping back too far. I smacked the steering wheel. I'm mad. I think I made a mistake, and right now I think the wind has slipped through my fingers. So I'm going to put my head down, and I've got to really focus. I'm trying to do everything exactly as I need to, and I'm staying right behind Ronnie. I just need to catch up to him and find a good spot where I can try to make an overtake, either this coming lap or the last lap. It seems as though coming down this back straight out of the exit of the Grande hairpin, I have more speed than he does pretty much every lap, so I'm really starting to think that is going to be a good spot for me to overtake, and he seems to have a better exit from the carousel usually, so I'm going to try to open this up. He takes the defensive line, and we're going to pull right up to his rear there. He turned in a little bit too late, and I'm going to try to put it up next to him. We go for the inside of Long Beach, and he's going to do the switcheroo on me, and he ends up just a nose ahead. Now we are drag racing up this start-finish straight. We can see the white flag is waving. It is the last lap of the race. I've got to be careful about how I do this. So I try to hold it on his inside. We managed to hold it through turn 2 and turn 3, but I decide it's not going to be worth it to be on the outside on the exit of turn 4. It's too costly to be out there. So I tuck back in, and I remember that I'm much faster on the second half of this lap. So I really want to look for something on the second half of this lap. We go into the braking zone here. He goes a little bit too deep, and I know as soon as I see him go just a bit too deep, I'm going to have the exit that I need. So we're close enough, we're right behind him, and we have got the run out of the hairpin. We're going to put it right up on his inside here going into carousel. We've got to drive around his outside here for the entry, and then we're going to be on the inside for the carousel braking zone. So we brake, he holds it on the outside, he opens it up to try to get the run. So he has got a better exit out of here, and I can feel it. I could hear him behind me. I could hear he was faster, so I open it up really, really wide, and we drive right around the outside of it. We managed to hold it all the way around the outside of the horseshoe. This other guy comes up in the 56. He goes for it. I'm on the inside. Ronnie's right next to me, and this guy in the 56 car is right behind him. We are all drag racing to the line, just inches between us, and I win it. I was so thrilled. I'm sure you could tell by my actual guttural roars, but what a highlight, what an incredible moment. When you go and do over a year of racing somewhere and you get your first win, it's a really, really incredible, special feeling.
Oh my God, that was the race of my life. Did I win?
Yeah, I think so.
Did I really win?
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit, man.
Winning the heat is the gift that keeps on giving, because then you get to start top 3 in the A-main. So now I'm having my best ever A-main start on the second row of the grid. We can see the flag go up, we push off, we have an excellent start. I think about going up the inside of Tommy Hockey in the 22, but I decided not to. We had spoken before the race, and we decided that me, him, and Albert Ye, the top 3, we were going to try to drive away from the pack, but I'm already getting swallowed up by John Rice behind. John Rice is fantastic. He is one of the best drivers at CalSpeed, absolutely, and he pulls up ahead of me. You can see Michael Martin is on my inside. He is also another fantastic CalSpeed front runner. It's going to be really, really difficult to fight with him. And then we've got Carl Zhu right behind us. So I've fallen back 1 net position into 4th, and I can see John Rice ahead of me, but I am quite early on noticing that my kart feels a little bit slower on the straights. Definitely one thing about rental karting is a lot of it is about the luck of the kart draw, and I'm starting to get the impression that this kart is not going to be what I need to give me a good result. As you can see, Michael Martin is coming up on my outside on the exit of carousel. He's going to try to open up the entry to horseshoe wide enough that he's going to have a speed advantage to try to overtake me into this final corner here. We're going to turn the camera around and see if we can see that going down, but he actually is not quite close enough to me to go for the move this lap. So now we are staying in fourth. I'm motioning for them to push forward. I really can tell that my car is slow. They're pushing on my bumper, and that's helping me get up the straight decently, but I'm really getting the impression that my car is slow on the straights. I'm starting to get stressed. I'm trying to think about how I can save this result, because as you can see, these top three cars are driving away from me. I don't feel like I'm on the pace that I need to be to keep up with them, and it kind of feels like these guys behind are just kind of pushing me along to see if we can make up this gap at the top three. But then Michael Martin, he is looking for it. Look at that. He won last year's Grande race, but he actually lost the win to a penalty, so he is really, really hungry today. And we are coming into Carousel one more time on lap 2. We can see that top group. They're ever so slightly pulling away, and then Michael Martin is going to go for that overtake. Carl Zhu is going to actually try to go up right behind him. Michael Martin actually drives from this overtake and goes on to win this race. So I'm thrilled that he got the redemption story that he deserved this year on this year's Grande. But as you can see, now that they're ahead of me, you can see how much slower I am on the straights. Right off of that exit, they're pulling right ahead, and I'm not even gaining in the draft. It's really, really difficult for me to keep up. Leo Ordichov in the 57 right behind me is actually really trying to help me out. You're going to see as soon as we turn around, he's doing everything he can to put his momentum into me and to push me along. But every minute now, every second, I can feel the cart is getting slower. And right here, going down this hill, I can feel that my revs are starting to drop a little bit, even though I'm flat out. And now, as I put my foot down, I can feel that it is not gaining revolutions as it should be, and I'm not accelerating out of the corner. And then it happens. I get absolutely swallowed up by the pack. I put my hand up. The cart loses all power. I have no ability to drive. Tony Wyko drives around the outside, and that is a mechanical DNF. It's my first mechanical DNF at CalSpeed, and from my best ever start in the A main.
It had power, and then it had less, and then next lap it had less, and then it had none, and then it turned off. I started on the second row of the fucking A main, and I got a mechanical.
So here are the updated championship standings. The position numbers all the way on the left, that is including the drop. So we get to drop our 2 worst results at the end of the season. And if you drop the 1 worst race, I'm 12th. But if you do not, and you count all the points together, right now I'm 8th. I'm feeling really, really confident about that top 15 right now. And we have just got to put it together in round 3. We have got a Super Series race before that on February 13th. So make sure to like and subscribe. If you liked this, please subscribe to celebrate my first win. I'm stoked about it. We're having a live stream tonight at 5:30 Pacific. Stop by to congratulate me.
Well, that's going to be a shitty way to end the YouTube video.